Hello everybody. I don't know if you can hear me, but I thought I would start this video with some evidence of some Gangstalker fuckery. They're bound to show themselves sooner or later, they always do. It doesn't matter whether the camera's out or not. There will usually be someone. It's funny how as soon as the camera's out, they start behaving themselves. And that the horns stop and the loud music stops and everything else, and you're just left with visual stuff. Yeah, that person just pointed to the camera, so they're obviously a gang stalker. They didn't think they were going to be filmed. Let's see what happens with this one. Because the thing is, cars come like about every 10 seconds normally anyway. This is a quiet street, but it's not like cars are not going to drive down here. Do you understand what I mean? Oh! Nah! Oh, shit! Today is my lucky day. Yep, police roll by. Now you get to see some of my tormentors. This is one of these bastards rolling in now. I don't know if you can properly see them. But yeah, this is definitely one of them. Dark-haired gentleman. He's one of the perverts that have been watching me from a live feed in the bathroom. Yeah, so yeah, started off the day right. Let's go, Fabulous. Started off the day right indeed. Yes, yes, do that gang-stalking shit, fool. Did you see that? I don't know if you can see that from this distance, but they were fiddling around with their pockets. This is quite a long distance, because I'm looking at this now, and everything is from real far away, so I'd have to zoom in. But yeah, you saw some gang stalking right there. And with that out of the way, we turn the camera inwards, just like we turn everything inwards. And there we go. And here's me face. Hello everyone. How are you? TIs, I hope you're well. I wanted to read something to you. This is the test results of my health. Now, I'm not going to read you everything because the video was already like 2 minutes over already. So I'm not going to read you everything. I'm not going to read you everything that's going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read like the most important parts and then kind of give you a brief breakdown of what that means. So first of all, I'm going to read you the organ system and how my organs are functioning at the moment. The ideal for the metric reading for organ function is 100%. So the ideal is 100%. If it's 100% working, then it's fine. My arterial system and venous system is at 100% at the moment. So that's just an example. So what that means is that my arteries and my veins, peachy. But then there are parts of my body that are not so peachy, I dare say completely fucked. So I'm gonna read you the fucked parts and then kind of give you a brief synopsis of what all this means. So my central nervous system is operating at -10%. My nerves are operating at -10%. My blood sugar is operating at -10%. Energy operating at -10%. Both my red and my white blood cells are operating at -10%. My pituitary gland, which controls the hormones, operating at -20%. My liver is operating at -5%. and my hormonal system and my hypothalamus. I have no idea what my hypothalamus is. I'm gonna have to look that up online and give you a definition of that particular bodily function in the description below, because I have no fucking idea what a hypothalamus is, and I don't think it was explained to me either. So the hormonal system and the hypothalamus is at -10%. Remember that the ideal is 100%. And all the organs that I've read to you, the nerves, the blood sugar, the energy, the blood cells, the liver, and the hormonal system are all at minus, they're all in the negative, basically. They're all at minus capacity. So basically, how I'm alive right now, I can't honestly tell you, especially when you consider that the bone marrow is at -5%, and the AV node, which controls the heart function, is at -30%. -30%. Right? So, I'm going to read you the issues that I have. So I've already listed where my organ function is not properly working. Now I can list I'm going to list some of the issues that I have. Sickle cell is 100, because even though I'm not, I don't actually have sickle cell, I'm a sickle cell carrier. I'm one of those unfortunate sickle cell carriers that can have all the traits of sickle cell. I have Asperger's too, as I've always said, as my parents have always said, I have Asperger's, which the doctors repeatedly denied. My sugar issues are 120%. Okay, so when I'm reading my issues, my health issues, the ideal is 0%. So organ function, ideal is 100%. Problems, ideal is 0%. So what I'm reading you now, the sickle cell, the Asperger's, the sugar issues, all those should be 0, right? And yet for the sickle cell, I've read you 100%. For the Asperger's, 100%. For the sugar issues, 120%. Fucking gluten sensitive, 120%. So I'm allergic to gluten hard. Rickets, 100%. I always knew about the rickets. My dad always knew about the rickets because I have a slight, my walk is slightly weird. So I have rickets and stuff like that. The sparkles in eyes, I have 100%. Kidney aches, 100%. Weak, 110%. So that's physical weakness. Mood swings, 120%. Anxiety, 100%. Heart palpitations, 40%. It's a real sad state of affairs when you have to say, oh, maybe the heart palpitation isn't that bad in comparison. For heavy metal, which is heavy metal poisoning, I've got 100%. Parasites, I've got 100%. So what that means in a synopsis is that I have got liver exhaustion, I have heart disease, I have diabetes, which is why I've been peeing a lot, which is something that the stalkers enjoy mocking me over. They enjoy mocking somebody who has diabetes and a UTI, a urinary tract infection. I know that's a lot of information, but I have that and the fucking diabetes, and these people are trying to make fun of me for going to the toilet every 5 minutes. Do you understand what I mean? So that's what I mean. So there's that, and then there's I have blood organ fungus. I have a fungus in my blood. I have fucking meningitis. I have fucking meningitis C. Meningitis C. I have fucking polio. I have atrioventricular node disease, which causes low blood pressure and causes sleep apnea. I have bone skin bump complex, which is caused by several head injuries I had as a young person, that caused the bones to kind of protrude inwards. Do you understand? So the shape of my skull is weird, and it says that things like that. Wandering paralysis is often experienced. I've experienced that quite a lot. There are times where I felt like I couldn't move. Urea backs up in the body, causing joint pain. The joint pain comes and goes. As a result of the injury, the kidney blockage. As a result of the kidney blockage caused by the head injury, the liver backs up ammonia into the brain, which causes insomnia and great tiredness, as well as hallucinations, fear of never healing, despair, anger, and victimhood. So I also have Asperger's. And it's been said that Asperger's is a mental disease. Asperger's is not a mental disease. Asperger's is a result of base liver intolerance to gluten. And consuming this causes, is basically consuming this like in large quantities is what either causes Asperger's or helps to cause Asperger's. So Asperger's is the result of sort of a gluten allergy, and probably a hereditary one as well. So yeah. So I definitely have Asperger's. I also have brain damage, which is an infection that eats out the organs. Now, I know as TIs that this sounds absolutely horrific to hear. It sounds horrific that there is a targeted individual suffering from diabetes, heart disease, low blood pressure, polio, and fucking organs eating out my insides. But what you have to remember is that I am walking around as a relatively healthy person. I'm overweight, sure, I have mental illness, but besides that, I am deemed as a relatively healthy person. So before you get horrified at this, I want you to imagine a disabled person. I want you to imagine a disabled person getting their saliva results. I want you to imagine somebody with cystic fibrosis getting those results. I want you to imagine somebody with visible illnesses getting those test results. What I've got is nothing. There are certain people who have 52 separate illnesses at once, 52 separate problems, all within the same body. How they're still alive, I have no idea. And the horrible thing is, my fellow targeted individuals, is that this is not special to TIs. This is not special to TIs. This is not special to stalkers. This is not even special to the order. It's not special to anybody. There are millions of people because of outdated testing techniques deliberately foisted on the NHS by government. Because of that, there are millions of people walking around with several illnesses and several bodily breakdowns, several organs that are not functioning. The only reason why I was able to catch what I was able to catch is because I know the right people. I know the right people, and I have the right connections. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't have found out anything about what was going on with me. So this is not just special to TIs. This is everybody is fucking suffering. Everybody is suffering. Yeah? But in saying that, this is precisely why I'm going to break down precisely why my sympathy will always lie with the targeted individuals and nobody else. The TIs, the targeted individuals. My sympathy lies with you and with you alone. I have no sympathy for the stalkers, and I definitely have no sympathy for the order, and here's why. The reason why I have no sympathy for the people that have arranged the gang stalking is because they have files on you. They have been surveilling you, they have been monitoring you. Yeah? They know how sick you are. They know already. You seriously mean to tell me that you've been conducting surveillance on the people you plan to target and you have absolutely no idea that they're sick? They know how sick millions of people are. They know how sick millions of people are, and that includes the people that they choose as targets. They know how sick they are already. They know that millions and millions upon millions upon millions of people are sick, and they deliberately choose targets knowing this. And even now, I bet you any money that when the treatment for my fungus comes in, they're gonna fuck around with that. They're gonna fuck around with that. They're gonna find a way to pay somebody to fuck around with my health medication. Which brings me to my next point, which brings me to why I don't feel the slightest bit of sympathy for stalkers. Because the stalkers are part of this system, right alongside the TIs. They're not government agents, they're not spies. They're hired by spies and they're hired by government agents, but they themselves ain't no fucking spy. They're not MI5, they're not MI6, they're just a bunch of stupid ass people who were asked to stalk this person for a period of time, harass them constantly, make sure they can't get any peace, all that kind of thing. They're just ordinary members of the public just like us, only they've been given a little bit of privilege, and that's why they're kind of letting it get to their head now, because they've been given it a little bit of privilege and they think they're above it all of a sudden. Somebody gave them £300 to £500 or gave them a boost to their ego and suddenly they think they're all that. That's what that is. Stalkers are, besides that though, stalkers are in the same boat as the rest of us. They know how unjust this system is. They know how unjust the system is. They know how fucked up the NHS is. They know how fucked up our government is. And they are still working for them. Even without knowing that the order or all these small local councils are involved in mass genocide, even without knowing that, they knew how fucked up, how racist, how discriminative, how sexist this system is. They know that. They know it, and they're still working for them in order to covertly harass someone else. Stalkers have the same problems that I do. Like the stuff that I've just read out to you, all it is like disease in different areas, but we're all sick. We're all sick. And yet the stalkers are going to go right ahead and work alongside their own murderers. Their own murderers. To turn around and harass you. Just to feel like they've won. If that is not the most pathetic shit you have ever heard in your life, I don't want to know what else you've heard. So no, the stalkers don't care. From my mum's neighborhood to my dad's neighborhood, to this neighborhood, they don't care that they've been calling someone crazy for having physical illnesses all this time. They don't care about that. They don't care about the fact that they've mocked somebody with heart disease and diabetes and God knows what else. They don't care that they're mocking a person whose central nervous system is shot to shit. They don't care that they're mocking somebody who's got fucking, fungus eating out their insides. They don't even care about their own selves. So it doesn't surprise me. But that's exactly why I don't feel sorry for them. Because when they agreed to sign their name on that dotted line, they proved themselves to be a bunch of suicidal nihilists who would sooner work for the people that are murdering them denying them justice, denying them their privacy, denying them their lives. They would sooner work for those people than do the right thing. Why? Because there's money in it. Pathetic. It's too pathetic. It's too pathetic to even sympathize with. You know, well, quite frankly, these people, if they don't deserve to die because they're utter scumbags who stalk and harass people with visible illnesses and physical illnesses, if these people are not a bunch of scumbags who deserve to die because they are contributing to people suffering en masse, then they should have just been put out of their misery out of mercy. And that's for my targeted individuals. Just like the Order, just like the Stalkers, you are also sick. We are all sick. And on top, but with you, on top of your sickness, TIs, on top of your sickness, you're being blasted with electromagnetic frequencies. You're being psychologically harassed and taunted every day. You're being betrayed by friends and family, once again, who would rather side with their own murderers than side with you. You're being used. You're being manipulated. Your abusers are also attempting to silence you. And you're sick. And you're sick. On top of that. It's just like I said before. No healthy person, no healthy, well-adjusted human being would ever stalk somebody else. And as it turns out, yeah, the stalkers are physically sick, which is why mentally their brains aren't working properly, which is why they're so easily brainwashed. It's because they're not physically healthy. And neither are the Order. They're not physically healthy. Nobody's physically healthy out here. But like I said before, that these people sided with their own murderers. So I ain't got no sympathy for them. But UTIs, I have sympathy for you. Because on top of dealing with all these physical illnesses inside your body, you're dealing with electromagnetic frequencies being blasted at you. You're dealing with, like I said, you're dealing with a whole world of bullshit on top of these physical illnesses right here. And I guarantee you, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a stalker. I don't care if you're a member of the Order. I don't care if you're a TI. You are sick. You are sick. Everybody is sick. Nobody is exempt. It's just that with some of us, our illnesses are so bad that they're actually visible. And I'm one of those people. All this madness that people mocked me for this whole time, it turned out it was a physical sickness this whole time, and it turned out that mental health ain't even a fucking thing. That the whole thing is either due to genetics or due to physical imbalance and fucking physical injury. All of it. I just read you let me read it to you again. Let me read you the bone skin bump complex again. Let me read it in more detail, right? A hit to the bones that causes inward protruding bumps. It takes months or decades for it to sink in, but the results are sensitivities to sound, chemicals, light, and smells. Wandering paralysis. And it disturbs the kidneys, which disturbs the liver, which backs up ammonia into your fucking brain and causes insomnia and tiredness and hallucinations and irrational fears and despair and anger and victimhood. So that's just what happens when you get a bump to the head. That's why you hear all these jokes about, were you bumped on the head when you were born and this, that, and the other. Because bumps to the head, they cause mental trauma. They cause mental and physical trauma to the body. All of these things cause health issues. And as for that fucking brain damage and that fucking blood organ fungus, I guarantee you, I am not the only person suffering with this shit. I guarantee you, this is not special to TIs. It's not even special to stalkers. It's not special to anybody. Literally everybody is sick. everybody. But there's a reason why I save my sympathy for TIs. It's because on top of that, we're having to deal with everybody else's ignorance. Since I was a child, I've had to deal with taunts from people calling me crazy and calling me this, that, and the other, and calling me mad and all that kind of thing. When I was visibly sick, it's akin to fucking bullying somebody who's in a wheelchair. If you're visibly sick, this is how sick our society is. If you're visibly sick, people would sooner mock you out of fear than try to help you in one way or another. And the fact that all of us have physical illnesses, it just demonstrates to me that I was right, that no healthy person would ever behave like that. No healthy person would ever behave like that. This is genocide. This is genocide. I'm not the only one. There are everybody, it's not even millions of people. Everybody is fucking sick. Everybody is sick. Everybody has deficiencies. Your health is the most overlooked thing there is, and it's overlooked for a reason. It's because when all is said and done, it is the most important part of people being able to be brainwashed, of people being able to be manipulated. If your health ain't all that, anybody can come around and say anything, and it'll stick. Do you understand? When I said there was a genocide going on out here, when I said that stalkers were attempted murderers because they were doing the bidding of people that know what's going on and that are killing people in their millions, I wasn't lying. When I said there was a genocide, I was not lying. I was not lying. They know that all mental illnesses and that they know that everything, all the diseases that we want to mention, are